Hey, it's Mike Brennan, and we are now going to take a look at what's going on with the Centrepolis Accelerator at Lawrence Technological University. We have Riley Lenhard joining us today, and of course, Matt has some influence there at that university, and I'm sure he'll be participating heavily in this. But last week, I believe it was announced you got a $2 million grant, another one. You guys have been on a roll here lately. I've lost track of how many grants you have, but why don't you talk a little bit about this latest one?
Yeah, Mike, you and I both. It seems like every other week there's something new going on with our organization, which is awesome. So this new grant that we just got from the Ralph Wilson Foundation for $2 million is an extension of our previous award we had won, I think roughly about 2 years ago now. They committed to our mission and supported us with $1 million investment, and so it's still supporting the same initiatives that the previous grant was supporting, which is primarily focused on entrepreneurial programming, and then providing a lot of those critical design, engineering, and prototyping services that folks have become accustomed to with Centrepolis Accelerator. Um, at a high level, that's the gist of it.
So, for people who might not be familiar with the Centropolis Accelerator, what it is, what it does, why don't you tell folks, give them a little bit of basic background on
Mhm.
the organization?
Yeah, of course, man. So Centropolis Accelerator is the only hard tech accelerator here in Michigan, and we're one of the only hard tech accelerators in the world that we know of that provide that in-house design, engineering, prototyping, as well as manufacturing readiness services. And originally we supported a lot of consumer products, medical devices, but over the last couple of years, we've really transitioned into supporting clean energy technologies as well as circular economy, advanced manufacturing, now dabbling a little bit more in industrial decarbonization. And we're no different than any other traditional accelerator. We provide our own entrepreneurial boot camps and services supporting business strategy, fundraising strategy, connections to manufacturers, suppliers.
Well, yours is really focused, like you say, on hardware. I'm real familiar with a lot of the other incubators, accelerators around the state, and they all have a specialty kind of thing, but not quite as focused as you guys are. Industry 4.0 essentially is what you guys are focused on, and you have some really stellar partners that are involved with that, including Automation Alley and MEDC. I'm not sure who all there's a bunch of them, but I think the city of Southfield's also involved, right, Matt? So, I mean, it's really, like you say, quite unique, and I'm really familiar with everybody else, and so how's that working out? I mean, what comes out at the end of the sausage machine? Are you starting to produce companies that are actually starting to commercialize and sell products, or where are we at with that?
Yeah, so our Industry 4.0 accelerator has been doing some amazing work over the last couple of months. So, we actually lost Automation Alley as a partner, so now it's really co-managed by Centropolis and Lean Rocket Lab up in Jackson, Michigan. And yeah, we're doing the same work. I mean, supporting a lot of these companies, and a lot of the I4O companies are more in that growth stage where now they're looking for the right connections to customers. So one of the things that we've been really doing and focusing quite a bit on is providing kind of these tech demo days with corporate partners of ours. So we recently wrapped up one with Detroit Manufacturing Systems where we brought 10 companies to pitch and present to DMS executives, learn a little bit more about their technologies and how they can maybe utilize them in their own, operations to streamline efficiency as well as reducing emissions. We had one as well at Ford headquarters with a lot of Ford executives and people with purchasing power, and that was a really, really good event. It allows for a lot of great networking, one-on-one opportunities, and it's really an intimate setting for these startups and these organizations to get in front of the right people and present their unique value propositions and how ultimately they can help support their business model. So.
So, walk me through what a typical client engagement would be for you folks, and if you want to use a real world client, feel free. I just like to give people an idea of what the scope of services is that you might provide for a typical client.
Yeah, it's a great question, Matt. One that we get all the time. So typically how this ends up working is we have a variety of different programs, as you're aware of, right, that we offer. And they all, in some ways or another, support the same initiatives, but some of them are a little bit more nuanced. So, typically a company will apply to, come through one of our programs. We'll kind of assess, where that company is at from a technology readiness level, where they're at, commercially, as well as from the business technical milestone standpoint. And from there, once we've kind of had that introductory meeting and kind of dissect where they really need the most help, you can ultimately determine if Centrepolis is the right partner given the current stage that they're in. So we do offer some programs for early stage, entrepreneurs, startups, or inventors. But really, where our bread and butter is in that growth stage category, where companies are looking to go from technology readiness, 4 all the way through, technology readiness 9, which means getting to a point where your product's commercialized and can be used, by potential adopters in the marketplace. And so kind of how that, works, it's really one-on-one individual special services, Matt. Everybody's different when they come through our doors. Not everybody requires the same level of support either, right? Some folks have never been an entrepreneur before, right? And so there's a lot of things that are new to them and take a little bit more time with those folks. But then we have some of our very seasoned veterans that have been through it. They know their way around it, and we provide a lot of that tactical support when they need. And it's primarily focused on product design, engineering, and prototyping. And we're able to really do this in 2 ways because we have our own machine shop, so we're able to do a lot of that stuff in-house. But we also have over 40 experts and residents, and all of these individuals have anywhere from 10, 20 plus years of experience in a wide variety of industries. And we, as you guys could imagine, they have made just about every single mistake you could think of. And so we like to use our EIRs, deploy them onto those companies to ensure that they don't repeat same mistakes. So as far as an example, I mean, there's so many that come to my mind that, would be really good ones to share. I think naturally the best one, most compelling one, in my opinion, is the story of Versaware. And so for any of you guys that are not familiar with Versaware, they are creating a smart cutting board infused with AI language model. And essentially what Versaware is going to be doing is they are democratizing nutrition. And by doing so, they are streamlining the process of tracking your nutrition. So a lot of individuals, especially those that are diabetics, individuals that are, training for decathlons, whatever, marathons, have to be very strict on what, food they're consuming and how they track their nutrition. And right now, current, competitors don't have basically the technology that Versaware has, where Versaware can do it automatically for them. And so these 2 gentlemen, Jacob and Creed, were living in San Diego. They went to Cal Poly and found out about the Centrepolis Accelerator and packed up their car the very next day and moved over to Michigan. And we have been supporting them for the last 2.5 years. We now are proud to say that they're getting very close to product commercialization, and we're getting ready to support them with their in-home user testing over the next couple of months.
So how does the smart cutting board work? What's the tech that's in it, and how does it help you, I guess, stick to a diet?
Yeah, so there's weight sensors, weight scale and sensors that are basically infused in the board. And so essentially what you would do, Matt, is if let's just say you wanted to cook, some sort of dinner, right? And let's just say you have chicken, broccoli, all the different seasonings, whatever, right? You'll put it on the board and it'll actually then measure it out. So you'll basically say, I'm putting on chicken breasts, right? And so then the program is basically designed to know, okay, you're putting on chicken breasts, breaks down all the nutritional aspects of that chicken breast based on how much it weighs. So then in real time, you can see your caloric intake, how many grams of fat, right? How many, how much protein and carbs and all that fun stuff. So there's a lot of IP that's embedded into it, right? So at its highest level, that's how what it would do.
All
Very
right.
cool.
And how does one, if they think they have the next great idea, reach out to Centrepolis Accelerator to see if they can get accepted?
Yeah, so we have our design for Michigan manufacturing application that's housed on our website. That's probably the easiest one for folks to go to and fill out. That's kind of the early intake. We're also working on a new intake process currently as I'm speaking. So hopefully that's something that we're unveiling here in the next couple of weeks that entrepreneurs can take advantage of. And then once they go through that, they'll fill out a short questionnaire and provide some details and background on their company, given their current stage and all that fun stuff. And then usually what ends up happening is either our VP of Venture Development, Philip Swanson, or Dennis Shaver, one of our EIRs, will typically intercept that and have that first kind of introductory call with them.
And are you still actively looking and recruiting EIRs? If someone out there is retired or semi-retired but has expertise in manufacturing of one specific thing or another, how do they get a hold of you? Same way?
Yeah, absolutely, Matt. We're always looking for new talent to add to the team. We've added, I think, 5 or 6 EIRs just within the last month and a half. So we're always looking to expand and bring some additional folks on. We're kind of undergoing a unique transition in our marketing department right now, and we're kind of changing up our entire website. And there's actually going to be a space in there for individuals that are recently retired that have that background, that expertise that you mentioned, and can fill out a form there to get in touch with us so they can learn a little bit more about us and vice versa.
Sounds great. And you have a regular, you have events where you go out to other places. I know you've had some stuff at Lean Rocket Lab in Jackson, right?
Yeah, we've done our manufacturing pitch day. Typically, we've alternated between Centrepolis and Lean Rocket Lab. We'll have our upcoming C3 Summit, which is our big event we put on every single year. This one right now is tentatively scheduled for October 1st, right during Michigan Tech Week, and we're hoping to secure a contract with Suburban Showplace. But basically, the C3 Summit, what we're offering is an opportunity for a lot of these clean energy, startups and small businesses, as well as circular economy and industrial decarbonization tech companies, an opportunity to get in front of a lot of industry investors. So, venture capitalists, angels, corporate venture arms, and private investors, and allowing them the opportunity to have those intimate one-on-one investor meetings, but also giving them an opportunity to exhibit on the show floor and interact with potential customers, partners, and then there's opportunities too for companies to pitch at the event as well. So,
And I wouldn't be a decent PR guy for Lawrence Tech if I didn't point out that being affiliated and indeed on the campus of a STEM-focused university is kind of a unique advantage for you folks too, right?
oh yeah, absolutely. Lawrence Tech has been an incredible partner over the years, and what's been awesome to see from my side, Matt, is faculty's willingness to engage us and allow us to jump into their classrooms and leverage the students' expertise, but also giving them that real world experience that is so valuable. And proud to say that there's many projects that we have in queue right now with LTU faculty and students, as well as many that have been completed in the past. That's what I think it's all about, is giving these students real world opportunities and allowing them to, prepare themselves for once they graduate from LTU and move on into a professional career.
All right.
There's a theory going around. Maybe it's more of the blue collar worker types, but a lot of folks just don't want to go into manufacturing. They see it as hidebound, old fashioned, 19th, 20th century. What about the students at LTU? I mean, they have so many opportunities to do so many things. Are they really interested in pursuing manufacturing careers, I guess?
Yeah, that's a good question, Mike. I would say yes. Naturally too, just um, the capabilities that the university has and then their programming that they offer to their students, it's naturally geared towards manufacturing. And one of our mission here, really now at the accelerator is domestic manufacturing and bringing back manufacturing to the States, and instead of going overseas. And I think students at LTU, as well as any student here in the US that's focused in engineering and manufacturing, I would like to think supports the same kind of mission and ideology that we need to start relying on, ourselves versus, others. So I'd like to think so.
Well, and manufacturing suffered from the image of somebody I heard once call it the 3Ds: dirty, dangerous, and dull. And this ain't your father's factory anymore. Lawrence Tech has not one but two Industry 4.0 / industrial engineering labs. One's funded by Siemens, the other one's funded by Johnson Controls, and they are essentially robot farms. I mean, that is how a lot of manufacturing is done these days. So really, what we're turning out is highly skilled, robotic engineers, roboticists.
Yeah, and I can speak on that too, because we've hired in several LTU engineers, and now 2 of them have started full time with us with that background, and one of them robotics and then one mechanical engineering. So we get to see it firsthand, and again, it's awesome because these kids get to come in and they get, not are they just working on the same thing every single day. They have new projects that are constantly coming in the doors, and it's allowing them to expand their capabilities and their skill sets. So it really is incredible. And I think too, over the next handful of years, we're going to see even more expansion, right? And it's cool to be a part of and get to see it firsthand.